Okay, we are live.
Hey, everybody, it's Laura Eisenhower here. I'm joined by such phenomenal individuals that are not just good friends, but people I deeply admire because of their mission, their research, their experiences, and yeah, just a huge list of things. And it's wonderful to come together this evening to talk about this event that's coming up November 1st and 2nd. And the event is called Activating Conscious Evolution. And it's a 2-day event. Each speaker is going to have about an hour of lecture, workshop time, and 15 minutes of Q&A. And we're going to do panels both days, November 1st and 2nd. So as you see here, me, Dan Winter, Tom Dongo, Neil Gaur, who's with us, Dr. Sharnael Wolverton, who's with us, Elena Danaan, who's with us, Nori Love couldn't be with us, but in previous broadcasts, we've shared a lot about what she brings to the table, and a lot of you who are familiar with her know how important what she shares is. And then Seth Pruzansky, who's with us, and of course, Aage Nost is with us. And Aage, Neil, and myself did an event about 2 months ago. I don't remember the exact date. And we've been sort of still keeping with this, awesome flow and collaboration together. And this is going to be awesome. Everybody here, I just want to kind of go around and just share a few words about yourself, what you might want to call sort of a summarized biography of the most important things you want to share about yourself, and then maybe what you're going to be bringing to the table. And we don't have to do it all at once, but let's just see how this flows. So we can kind of go around like we're on Hollywood Squares, except like Hollywood's not really enjoying the fact that I'm just kidding. All right, Neil, start with you.
All right, I'll go first. Hello, everybody. Nice to be here with everyone. I am producing this event, as Laura mentioned, with Aage and Laura, and this is our second one. And we're really excited about it. The intention behind this conference, which is the intention really behind all the work we do, but this one really just encompasses it, is the upliftment of humanity and activating our conscious evolution. What does that mean? Literally that, activating the evolution that we're now undergoing so that we can become the caretakers of the planet, take better care of ourselves, connect with each other, come from the heart. So this event is going to be 2 days with just like nonstop awareness from like physics of ascension, right? For the linear minded individuals that might want to be appeased from that linear aspects that, we're all one interconnected, which is kind of how I got into this in the first place, to the real heart centered awareness, the meditative awareness. I myself, I was going to do something on ancient history, and put it in the empowerment lens, but that's kind of morphed now. And I'm thinking I'm going to go back to some of my original research on sound, vibration, and frequency, because, that's what we all are. We're all vibration and frequency. Not just us, but my coffee cup is vibration and frequency. The lights coming at me, everything is vibration. As we all know, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Right, the original paradox. There you go. So everything is vibration. So now that we're going into this advanced age, so to speak, and we're evolving, we're coming back to a realization of something that was inherently lost. And that was the fact that all things are vibration, and all things that vibrate affect other things that vibrate. So as we understand that and move into this awareness, we can start being intentional with the frequencies that we have around us. So when I first got into doing events in 2008, the first 100 plus events I did was purely sound and vibrational activation events with different instruments. But that soon made me extremely interested in the science behind it all, because I got into spirituality in the first place just by realizing that everything is vibration and frequency. And these ancients were talking about this awareness when they talked about meditation, yoga, eating well. All elements were about how to harmonize your frequency so that you can be fully in alignment with yourselves and the planet, and really, live an empowered life. So my presentation, I'm going to have a few elements of different sound courses that I've done. There'll be a little bit on ancient history, right? I'll show some ancient sites that are emanating frequencies that are doing phenomenal things to people just being inside the structure, like giving them experiences of outer body experiences, astral travel. And then we'll take that into the science behind what is vibration, frequency, and the science behind chakras and binaural beats, and then some tools on how you can implement sound and vibration in your life to, just to better your life and your surroundings. So that's what I'm going to be offering at this conference. I'm excited to share with you all.
Incredible what you've been doing for so long. And we've talked before about how long we've been joining forces and collaborating. So it's, really cool that you're bringing in this element. And I forgot to share the bit that I'm going to be speaking about, but I'll wait till we are introduced to everybody else that's here. And then I'll throw my little bit in. But I'm kind of going around kind of like with the square. So Elena, you're next. Elena, a little bit about yourself and what you feel like sharing in this awesome conference.
Thank you, Laura. My name is Elena Danaan. Many of you know me as a contactee. I have been abducted at the age 9, and I have kept contact with the people who rescued me, who are part of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. And recently I decided to go public 2 years ago. I will share this time because it is about evolution and the evolution of consciousness. And the evolution of consciousness cannot be if we are chained and kept captive as slaves. And being captive as a slave, I will explain how it is an illusion and how we have the right to say no and to stand up. I will talk about the free will, which is the great universal law of evolution, free will. Without free will, evolution cannot be. And I will also mention how there are structures in this galaxy who maintain this free will, this right of all sentient beings to this sovereignty, this free will, the liberty of choice for yourself. And you will always choose what is necessary to your evolution, even if it harms you, because there is no bad choice, there's just choice. So I will speak about all of this and give a little resume of how did we get into this mess, what happened, and how are we getting out of it, because we are getting out of it, and it's very exciting. And I will finish by sharing my my vision of the future.
So incredible, so grateful you're going to be with us, and that's such a priority right now. And and I really know everybody's going to walk away feeling a lot more empowered and reassured without looking to saviors. And a lot of people, I think, like create misunderstandings and misperceptions that I hope I can say, and it'll be heard, that with these folks that we're all coming together, I wouldn't go there. And I know some people are trying to influence others to think that way. So I'll just leave it at that. And what an incredible message. It's such an honor to have been a part of your last book, Elena. And thank you for, being here. And so I'm kind of going around with the squares. I don't know how the squares are showing up with you, but Seth Pruzansky, who we've been collaborating for a while, and we just did a recent, it was more conversational, not really an interview. And you've gone through unbelievable things. A lot of your focus is on overcoming trauma and adversities, and you're also an author. And so tell us a little bit about yourself and what you plan to bring to the conference. And I don't like the word plan, so I can think of something better. Intent. So go for it.
Thank you, Laura. And it's wonderful that it's pretty much, well, I've met you, Sharnael, but I haven't met the rest of you. So thank you so much. And it's beautiful to collaborate with like hearts and like minds in new ways, because that's what we're doing. We're creating a new world. Yes. So these relationships are so important as we go forward. So thank you. With that said, I'm somebody who, it's a miracle that I'm even alive. And because I'm alive, I've been able to survive through things that were so extreme that it's given me a bird's eye view, you could say, on not only what it takes to survive, but how to understand the bioelectric aspect of our own consciousness, of the energy that animates our being. And so I'm going to provide an experiential talk that helps people really feel what these words are suggesting and pointing to. So it's, yeah, I'm going to be talking about a lot of things, but really I'm going to be saying it in a way that is going to remind people that they have inactive sensitivities that can be activated simply just by feeling them within themselves. And this leads to a change in body chemistry, and it leads to infinity. And because it is infinity, it's supported by it. So that's really what I'm going to do, is help people become aware of these internal aspects of their own physiology, that when they become conscious of it and begin to feel what's in it, it releases a flood of innate, inherent intelligence that feels like the best feeling times infinity. So just to downplay it a little bit.
I don't think you downplayed it. I mean, it's such a reminder that, you know, people take drugs or pharmaceuticals or all this stuff to escape. But if we can just face adversity, work through it, we are capable of reaching these greater bliss realms. And I really feel that this is a common thread that we all have as far as what we're sharing. Self-mastery and recognizing our inherent birthright, our divine inheritance, I guess is maybe a better way to put it. So thank you so much, Seth. Thank you for being here. And it's really wonderful and always wonderful to collaborate with you. So Aage Nost, who we sort of like launched this idea together. We got back in touch after not talking for, you know, quite some time, but with folks like us, it never feels like we need to text or call or email to feel in touch. I feel like a day hasn't passed with any of you when maybe we're not in touch for a while. But so Aage, you really focus on like mind mastery. You know, Nori Love, who's not with us, who's the co-host of the show that you do, who's going to be a speaker. You guys really tap into the greater human potential. And so, yeah, share a little bit about you, like the biggest lines standing out as far as your own personal bio and what you are going to be bringing to the conference.
Well, yeah, that's true. And the thing about it is that we are concentrating on the Broadcast Team Alpha show. We are concentrating a lot on consciousness because that is all there is. There really is nothing else. So why not try to understand it? And if we at least put one leg at a time out of the box and start walking, there's a whole new world out there. And we've done quite a bit with that show to enlighten people, and I really feel good about that. What I'm going to do on the conference here is I'm going to talk about astral travel. If you really want to understand consciousness, learn astral travel, because then you step out of the physical where everything is. And I'm going to teach astral travel. You see, it's not that hard to do. And it just takes a little practice. For myself, nothing has come easy for me. I must have tried it, I don't know, 40, 50 times before I was able to get out and look back at myself laying in the bed, and it scared the daylight out of me until I figured it out that, wait a minute, this is what I've been trying to do. And then I understand that I can go places and do things, and I can go back home, well, my body, anytime I want to. And it's not that hard to do. So I'm going to explain how to do it, what you will see out there, who you can meet, where you can go. And here's one for you UFO buffs out there. There is spaceships in the sky. Go visit one. And the thing about it is that you may get in, but many of them are able to see you because they also have that kind of vision that you have at the time, and they may not want you there, and then you just leave. But you could be invited. Now, this could turn really interesting.
Wow.
So I'm going to explain also the safety of it, because there really is no danger to it, because think of it, it's your astral vehicle that is out there. So there's nothing physically out there that can be hurt. The only thing is that you may feel apprehensive about is that when you start traveling up and away, if you're afraid of height, you may have to get over it. That's kind of a joke, actually, but
that's a good one.
Yes.
kind of works that way. So, but it's if you have a lot of fear in your mind right now, being here on Earth as you self, that fear will follow you out of the body. And that's not what you really should do. You got to think of it as a safe place for yourself, so that you can go out without fear, because then you do not draw the other entities and other things to you that also have fear in their mind. So there are places you can go and things you can see that would, I guess the term is called, it'll blow your mind, but you can do this. So tune into our conference and I will lead you through it. I also have a course that you can also go on Broadcast Team Alpha. You can find it where you can actually learn. It's a 4 sections of 1 hour where I go through very detailed about astral travel, what you find there, what you can see, and the environment that you step into, because it is totally different than what you have here. There is very few things different. And when you step out, you step into the 5th dimension. So everybody's saying, I can't wait until we get to the 5th dimension. Well, it depends on where you go within the 5th dimension. The lower part of it is very close to us. It's kind of a garbage dump of the spiritual world. That's where all the ghosts are trapped, and you don't want to spend much time there. Try to accelerate yourself up into the higher dimension where all the fun stuff is and the wonderful stuff is. So I don't know, I've been hogging the mic here for a little bit, so back to you guys.
Oh, no. Nobody would ever say that about your share. That was great. And incredible. And thank you so much. It's been wonderful to create these events with you and to be connected. And you're also an author, and you have this unbelievable bio and story that we didn't even talk about tonight. And I encourage people to look him up. This is like a very trained pilot too, right?
That was back in my dark ages.
Dark ages, being a pilot. So yeah, I mean, not just are you going to hear people's presentations, but you have an opportunity to get to know them and the body of their work.
Yeah.
Throughout, many, many years of dedication and, very interesting stories about their life, like yourself, Aage.
Yeah, that bio, that's because I've been around a long time. I'm older than some of the hills back there, so.
But yeah, you talk about anti-aging and yeah, you're a master of it. So nobody would know without reminding everyone, did you know, like, all this crazy stuff? Because you teach us people about the telomeres and the anti-aging stuff.
Yeah. That's another thing. That's another thing that I may touch on in the conference, because people keep asking me all the time, what is this stuff about reversing the aging process? Well, you see, in 2009, 3 doctors got the Nobel Prize for discovering an enzyme that reverses the aging process, and nobody told us. I talk about that in my book, as well as I'm going to talk a little bit about it here since it's brought up. But I explain how to do it. I am doing it. I'm 75 years old, and I'm having a great time. So I'm 3/4 of a century old. How about that? It's just...
Oh, wonderful. Well, it's so awesome. Okay. So Dr. Sharnael, my dear friend who I just adore in ways I can't even put into words. And man, we've known each other for a long time, and it's beyond lifetimes. And, everybody here, I feel this, affinity towards in such a special way that it's incredible to just be in all your presences, is that even a word? Never did well in school, but Dr. Sharnael, she's an author. She is a tireless warrior and always puts on interviews and roundtables and just nonstop, and has such an interesting background. And I just want to hand it over to you to tell us a little bit about that and what you're going to be bringing to the conference.
Awesome. I love you so much. And I'm so excited to work with some new people. I haven't met you, Neil, in real life, but I've seen your work. Awesome. And now I have a new person. I'm going to take your class. Can we sit in on everybody's stuff? I hope so, because I'm going to be front row center watching this. Sorry about my cat in the back. There's always cats here because I foster animals. So that's happening. But so I'm a naturopathic doctor, and he's sneaking in right there. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I am going to talk about quantum physics and the quantum connection to the human potential, frequency, time travel, bilocation, transportation, dreams, visions, our psychic abilities, and I think, and contact. Definitely going to cover contact, because I myself was a part of Montauk in 73 to 76. And I'm smiling, but that was a little bit of, coming through and the memories and what have you. But I've had contact my entire life. And a lot of my writing is, and my ideas have come from contact. I got a book in 12 hours, and that was my last book, The Science of Miracles. And so much of what I get are formulas and code and things, and I try to I somehow get it downloaded and able to put it in writing and or talk about it in simplified ways for people to master these formulas and be able to do the miracles that is our inheritance. These are the things that we're supposed to be doing. And if we can get to a certain point, then we can all be in this high vibe place of having these great abilities, doing, turning on all the junk DNA and having contact if you choose, dreams, visions, clarity, understanding. I had some really cool miracles just happened in the last 24 hours that I'm just super stoked about. And this should be normal. This should not be supernatural. I don't like that word, because we are natural. This is our natural, to have miracles all the time and to do the fun things. And even, I love what Elena said, even in the midst of whatever's going on outer, that should not determine what we are doing as light beings. And that doesn't determine our outer. We create our outer. We shift things. And as a collective, I love that she's going to touch this. And this is what we can do. It all starts on the inside with us. It's an inside job. And the more we can shift what's going on in here, then that combines with all the others who are doing the same work, hopefully. And as we are shifting, we are literally changing the biofield of the earth. So it's a great opportunity in this time, because it is so dark. But where there's darkness, there's also very bright light. If you're in a stadium that's completely pitch black, you can put just a little pinhole into the ceiling, and that light will just pierce through. And this is what our choice is right now. I'm not going to say we have to be light, but we get to be light. And so I'm going to go into that. And I'm just so excited to be with all of you all, and those who aren't here with us tonight. And those of you who are watching, please jump in on this. And it's a great opportunity. This is, instead of all this programming in the news and blah, 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 and all this stuff on the radio and the people you're around, that's programming too. This panel and the others that are going to be here, this is a chance for us to shift our mindset, our feelings, our DNA, to be able to be light in this situation and shift what's going on. We are the answers. It's not going to be some other thing that's going to do it for us. We are the ones. And I really believe this panel and this weekend in November It happens that the first and the second, the first is my ordination day. It's an anniversary for me. It's my dad's birthday. It's a pivotal time in history. It's All Saints Day. You know, there's so many things going on in the world. We're in the revolution of 1776 right now on an astrology chart. You guys, this is prime time for this kind of get together for all of us to just completely jump in, shift, and literally change the world, literally.
Beautiful, Dr.
Yes.
Sharnael. Oh my gosh. So incredible. What an amazing synergy of energy. And I'll just share real quick about what I'm going to bring to the table. I don't have it all completely formulated, but the greatest themes that are showing up for me has to do with upgrading in the face of adversity. Anytime something feels like it's going wrong, we have the creative imagination and ability to make it not right, but fuller, more meaningful, and taking us on a trajectory of getting to know ourselves better and being more whole because of it, instead of allowing ourselves to be further siphoned, harvested, and controlled. And there's that word fear, you know, we all have to face that. So when we face these adversities, whether it's physical pain, whether it's fear, whether it's a belief system that's being presented to us, where's our sovereignty in the face of that? Isn't that, in those sort of situations, an opportunity to decide that we have an ability to, you know, co-create with the process? And it's not going to come from negative ego. It's not going to come from arrogance. It's going to come from humility, accountability, and acceptance of these greater cosmic and natural laws, that this overlay of dark reversal energies on the planetary grid network and on the consciousness foundation of humanity through religions, Hollywood, entertainment industries, and all these different power structures has literally hijacked from people. Mm-hmm. Does it mean they own it? No. The minute you say, I'm taking my power back, those that stole it have nothing on you. So I'm going to really kind of focus on how we can be empowered and sort of understand the traps, the deeper technologies, the history behind it that is literally trying to manifest and generate artificial timelines based on what is stolen versus what is actually true, so that we can step into our divine potential and realize the greatest breakthroughs that we are being pushed to the edge to rediscover has to do with reclaiming this innate ability that they're trying to cause us to fear or give away. And in these times, it's about reclaiming these treasures and allowing ourselves this greater upgrade. And because we care about our friends and family, and we don't want to just, like, even though we know it or came in from higher dimensions, or it's not higher as in better, but it's a reminder, it's an activator. We don't want to leave anybody behind. So there's a part of this process, I feel, that's nullifying the mark of the beast, to invite our loved ones and our friends that might not agree to be with us in this process, if they are so willing, because they choose to stay in the love vibe. And those that choose to stay toxic and in the divide and conquer, we can give ourselves more permission to have boundaries and work through the grieving process of what that means for us. And I think we all can relate to, like, how challenging it is, regardless of what we've shared or what our missions are. We really need to help each other move through that awkwardness. So I'm going to be bringing up stuff about that. And I think I already told you, Neil, it was the title of my talk was going to be Aligning with the Truth Frequency, which I feel is a very personal thing. And if we stand in our truth, we recognize that diversity and harmony is oneness, and we can have love and respect for others that think differently, because it's not threatening. It's not about competition. It's not about ego. The ego has matured itself to the point where it sees the value in the differences, because we share codes, we share different aspects of ourselves, so that we can help each other rebuild and resurrect the ultimate DNA architecture of our diamond sun body 12 strand and beyond. And that we're elemental beings. And I could keep rambling on, but I'll shut up.
I am so excited about this conference. I was excited before, but this just took it up another level. Everything that you guys shared and all the different dynamics that are going to be there, it's just going to be so profound. I can't wait for it. And I love what you just said, Laura, about how to respect and love people that think differently. I feel like that's such a huge lesson right now for so many people. And if we want to implement, our belief spiritually, that is definitely a spiritual principle that we go by. So it's really about how do we integrate and implement it, right? For example, the law of abundance. The universe is full of energy. Everything is abundant energy to be able to be manifested. Yet we live in this scarce reality that has been kind of imposed on us, and that we've kind of also accepted. The lack mentality, there's not enough for us. We have to compete with each other. What would happen if we all came together and began to collaborate? Today my friend was telling me about how he just started a team, and his sales, he's a realtor, just went exponential because the team worked together so cohesively. And he was like, this is a testament to, teamwork. But also when you check your ego and put it to the side, or you just infuse your ego with the love, because ego is neutral. It can be positive or negative. You infuse it with love. You don't come from a place of reaction, and you come from a place of like heart-centeredness and openness. That's when we can really make some change and come together and collaborate. So this event, I feel, from every aspect that we're going to go down, like quantum physics here, and everybody probably knows Dan Winter and his like next level science, that you need to watch his presentation like 10 times just to figure it out, right? So like all of these elements, whether it's science, spirituality, or anything, takes us back to the heart, and for us to become these beings that we know we're able to be, right? We know that we have this, we have the education, we have the scriptures, we have the information. We know that it's possible. And now what do we have to do, and what are the steps to take in order to actually achieve it and manifest it? So I feel that's kind of like the overall theme of this reality, is giving us the tools and the information so we can manifest this world that we know is possible.
You want to say something?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say, I love everything you guys are saying. Mr. Nost, when he brought up something about like making yourself do it, or flying and then seeing your body and being outside your body, I was just with a group of people who did parasailing as a team, Neil, and I was going to go by myself, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with the group because it seemed to be like less scary. And I'm telling you, there was one spot where the girl was sitting down, Mr. Nost, and she literally had to physically move her leg to step up to the top of the boat where we were going to lift off, because her legs were like, oh no, I'm not doing that. So she had to physically. And so it reminded me of how you were like getting back home and like physically, like manually making yourself do things. But yes, we are manually maybe doing some of these things. But it's a conscious choice and everything. And I think when we step out and do these things that seem different, or maybe on the edge, or, whatever, whether it's mental, spiritual, or physical, we are breaking the limits. We are going beyond human potential. We're not human anyway, but I'm just saying we're being who we are. We really are. And I'm so enjoying what you guys are talking about. I'll be quiet.
I'm going to throw in, I want to say too, when this, like the world has come to a place where whether somebody's conscious of what's happening or not, or to what degree they are, everybody feels that something really profound is happening, whether they're looking at it from a negative perspective or this is exactly what we needed. We know something's happening. And just for beings like us to get together and converse and do things in this way is a sign of the times, right? Because we're not here preaching doom and gloom. We're here like, let's lift each other up. Let's bring out the best in each other. Let's support each other's efforts so that we can make a greater impact into the field.
Right on.
And remind people.
No kidding.
I want to follow
Aage, you had some thoughts. Yeah.
I want to follow up on Dr. Sharnael here. That lady that went parasailing, remember that true and great success is only achieved on the fringes of fear. And once you have done it once, you don't have to have that fear again. You do away with it because now you have accomplished. You've done it once, you can do it again. And I understand also that your talk will probably be a phenomenal education on epigenetics.
Yes.
And this newly understood
Yes.
science, medical science that explains very clearly and proven by experiments, repeatable ones, that we can heal our body with the way we think and the environment we are in.
Yes.
It's phenomenal.
Yes.
There's such a common thread when it comes to that, because Seth and I were talking about it, and I just feel we all have this kind of piece in common, different sort of levels of expertise. And sometimes expertise is just the experience, right? And then there's the educational part of it that goes beyond the indoctrinated and social engineering school systems. It's a literal passion to be able to say to people, hey, you can't doubt this. You can't dismiss this. You might have to live it to really convince yourself, but this is the greater science. And so when people are like, oh, I trust the science, this is what Seth and I were tripping about all day. Like, and we did a little thing. It's like, we're the science. So if we're going to trust the science, we need to trust ourselves. We need to trust our greater DNA capacity and abilities. We need to trust the universe, God source, God, goddess, the planet, this whole deal. And that when we feel a red flag, that we need to investigate it. We need to check ourselves if we're overly paranoid. And we also need to check ourselves if we have rose-colored glasses that are going to blind us from the truth. And I really feel that we all hold this common thread of, if we're going to step into the capacity to upgrade our DNA, that we understand that advancing it is not a scientific thing that is outside of us. It has to do with sacred union, alchemical marriage, and stepping into the hierogamic union and the integration of polarity and being responsible to our creative imagination. Are we going to allow it to be infected by propaganda and narratives and things that undermine us? Or are we going to be in that miracle vibration? And so, and, you know, Dr. Sharnael, boom, right? And Elena, all of you guys, every single one of you, that is a part of this event, I feel has a level of mastery on this. I don't want to say over it, but with it. How about that? I feel everybody's going to walk away from feeling really reassured. Because I mean, I don't know what you guys want to say, or anybody who wants to speak on this. The level of isolation and suffering that is going on with certain people. I mean, I can't help but tap into it and feel it. And it's very overwhelming and very heavy. Like, anything you guys want to say about that? And
it is time. Yes. Go on, Seth.
You know, on a practical level, this really is like us coming together and doing this. It speaks to the next paradigm in human evolution, which is very basic in that it's about relationships.
Yes.
Right? It's been relationship itself to our own existence, to the life force that's pulsing inside of us, to each other, to the world. It's something that we can no longer ignore. And more importantly, it's something that's calling us or beckoning us to go more deeply into developing with one another. You know, like, now we know each other, right? And going out in the street, being around people, just like, it's uncomfortable for a lot of people to feel what it's like to be intimate with another person that they don't know at all. And intimacy in the form of just opening up, just being yourself, you know, with your problems, with the parts of you that are great. We're coming together within our totality, with all our little idiosyncrasies, with all our masteries, with all the things we've messed up. And we're just being clear and authentic and supporting one another in being what we are together. And that's huge for everybody.
beautifully said. Anybody want to share any more thoughts on this? And then
I want to say that it's time has come that we all unite together, because divide and conquer, the strategy of the enemy, is just failing, because we've all awakened and we all see each other, we recognize each other, the whole planet. And it's time we unite, we work together for the greater good of the species, and that we focus on what we have in common. We're human beings. we will never agree 100% with what all the others think of or say. It's fine, we're humans, okay? But so what do we have in common? Let's work on that. And let's forget about what divides us, because the dark ones are using this to separate us. And the biggest fear of those who want to tie us down, to lock us down, is that we unite. And that we unite in our individualities and our diversity. The world of tomorrow, as I see it, is a world federated and united in our diversities. It's time.
Exactly. When we unite like that,
wow.
when we unite like that, we create a mastermind. And the definition of a mastermind is when two or more minds are united in harmony, they create a third mind that has the potential mind power of the two or more of them multiplied by each other. So if 1,000 people get together, you have the combined mind power of 1,000,000 minds. That's powerful.
That's so beautiful. You know, I want to go, it's just so awesome. I want to go back to what Seth said real quick about the deep connections, because I remembered I saw a article yesterday and I just pulled it up, the research study. I'm going to share this with everyone to add some context to some of what we're saying here. And it was a research study done last year on a group of, I'm not sure how many people were in the study, but it was the American Psychological Association. And the study came out with these results. I just want to share this briefly. Getting beyond small talk. Study finds people enjoy deep conversations with strangers. But what the study actually found out is that the happiness level of basically they kind of like looked at how much joy and happiness these people had by cultivating deep connections with strangers, like people that they would just randomly meet. And basically it said that the deep connections you had with people that you didn't even know, the more happy you felt. And the reason why people didn't have deep connections with others and small talk is because they really believed the other people wouldn't be too interested in their life and their situation. So what I'm getting at here is even now the studies are showing that the deep connections, not just with our family members and people around us, but other people that we don't even know or we just know briefly, actually takes us to a whole other level of joy and happiness and peace. So like, this is a real thing. And that actually, since I read that article, this was actually 3 days ago, I've actually have gone out and walked around and tried to have more than the small talk when I'm in the like elevator or something like that. But yeah, I just wanted to share that really quick.
I'd have to say that's really huge. Go ahead, Sharnael, and then I gotta share something, but go ahead.
Okay, so I did that too. I didn't see the article, but the limbic system is behind the frontal lobe. And the limbic system is interesting on a quantum physics, neuroscience thing. The limbic system cannot tell the difference between you and me. It can't tell the difference. If I give something to you, the brain registers it as you gave something to yourself. So it releases all the chemicals of receiving instead of giving, because we are one. There is no separation. That's an illusion. And that's what the whole conquer and divide thing is about, is try to mentally put us in these separations when we're all one, as in frequency, in DNA, and in our biofields and the earth biofield. So we have that collective. And so I love that article, because I didn't see that article, but I actually don't go out much. And I went out today and I was able, that was part of the miracles I was just talking about, is I had these really profound exchanges with a couple people, and I found a crystal in the middle of the thing, and it was crazy stuff. And I was just like, I feel like better than I have in a few weeks. And I've really been feeling like low density in the last few days of just like going, oh my God, it's so heavy. And of course that's perception, but thank you for bringing me that, Neil, because that actually reminds me of the limbic system and how when you do anything for someone, you're actually doing it for us, but also for ourselves, but also even in opinions about other people or judgments about other people. When you judge someone, your limbic system receives it as judging yourself. When you talk about someone in the negative way, same thing. It's as you spoke against yourself. And so even in scriptures, you mentioned earlier about scriptures. It's like, we're all one body. And, when you mess up and say something, do something to one member, it's really to you. And so judge and you will be judged, right? So anyway, just a little bit of science to add to that article of what happens on a neuroscience level, which affects the biofield. Because then if you're giving, and the giving energy and the abundance energy you talked about is out, no matter what is going on externally, if we're in that mindset, it's going into the field and then we're magnetizing it back to us. Boom.
Very beautifully put. I feel like sometimes we're in very vulnerable situations though, especially children. It's like there's child trafficking, there's pedophilia, and it's just like these innocent children. It's like, why? But at the same time, this level of mastery that seems to be required on this planet to overcome the Draco reptilian agenda is bringing in the purest of souls that are so strong that will be able to override this to prove to all of us. And I know you get this, Dr. Sharnael, and everybody here, Elena, Seth, Aage, and Neil, and even myself, that part where it's not based in the law of attraction, it's maybe based in a law of a higher attraction though, that you're talking about, right? Where it's like, why would we go through this? Why? The refusal to be a victim to it is the birth of the warrior that says, I'm going to process this in a different way. And the different way I'm going to process this is going to help to override and overcome all these attempts of mind control and social engineering that they put on the masses. So the ones that have dealt with it, like in the project or programs or these more concentrated things, they're sending out a frequency to the rest of the collective, the people that might have the most mild sort of mind control. A lot of the 70s shows seem to be okay, like Little House on the Prairie, but like some of the other ones, right? And just like all the indoctrination in the school systems, that if the concentrated version of the worst level of mind control can wake up to it, the 100th monkey sort of effect, or how that can help shift society, I feel is the world that we're in right now. And it's a very difficult transition because that false woke, where they've been playing people for a really long time as far as movements, like humans are naturally racist and they're trying to solve this in society, or we're naturally vulnerable to just getting every disease under the sun when we're super powerful and we're able to pretty much heal anything and everything. I feel like these breakthroughs, especially with people who have gone through the most hardcore part of it, Kathy O'Brien, some of you guys, I don't want to name anybody without, your permission first, to me are the true leaders and heroes of these times. Elena and Dr. Sharnael, you talk a lot about it in your stories. And Seth, with your experiences, and Aage with your self-mastery, and Neil with your, endless quest for truth and knowledge. Not full. Okay, so I'm overly celebrating how much I love you guys. I'll just shut up, but I hope you guys join us.
Yeah.
Can I say one last thing? I don't know if we're going to go, but I want to, this kind of everything that everybody has shared circles back to what you initially said, Laura, about this idea of isolation and how many people feel isolated. Every single one of us is presenting in our own way things that we're all smiling, we're all excited, we're like, because we know what it's like when you put these things into practice and changing your body chemistry, changing your entire perception of self and reality to the degree where you create that override frequency. And so, we're doing this actively, all of us. And you get to a point where you realize that the isolation is a gift. And I feel like we're coming together to help inspire those who may be stuck in isolation or feeling like that look, there are people, you're not alone. Like, we're all feeling it. Everybody is feeling it. However, some of us are being proactive and we are tapping into stuff that is working for us and we're seeing it work for others. And this is what this is.
Beautifully put. And as we're gonna, oh yes, Neil's sharing the link. And, you know, everybody's support, as much as nobody really likes the money system, but this is how we can continue to do what we do. We're all needing to put roofs over our head. And I think a lot of us are trying to support people's transition out of like the medical industry that's trying to compromise them, being a part of the educational structures out there, and even the religious. And it's pretty much across the board, and that we can build something way better, and we should all have each other's back. And so I know we all like need to close. So let's kind of go around and everybody just have your final piece, or maybe anything you weren't able to share, and where to find you. We'll you know, definitely put it in the description, but it's kind of, you know, go around.
Yeah, I'll go last because I want to do a poem as we close out.
Oh, right. Yes. Oh gosh, that last one when we did the portals to Centrum, that was really cool. Always amazing.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's just go around, and we can go sort of. Oh, now we're back at the Hollywood Squares Brady Bunch looking screen. I don't know who's in charge of the screen, but so Elena, go first. Like, what are your final thoughts, or anything you want to share based on what's kind of come up tonight, and anything that you feel like you wanted to share and weren't able to share? And yeah.
Thank you, Laura. What came up tonight, that is, we're all talking about unity and working together. And it's like a soul retrieval of humanity to my perception. And I want to add that we must not forget that all the answers are within, because when we connect with ourselves, we connect with the divine being, which is a fractal of the greater consciousness of the universe. So if we want to seek for answers, let us not seek them outside, but let us take the path within. It leads to amazing things. And that's what I want to say. And that would be my final words for now.
And a lot of the amazing things are people finding you and feeling this incredible connection. I feel you light up people's souls where they're like, you feel such a divine connection. And love you so much, Elena. Thank you for being part of this. And so go for it, Seth.
Every single human being alive on the face of this planet right now, we are all bioelectric divine beings that are the true essence of our nature is so far beyond what we are capable of comprehending with our normal conscious waking minds. Yet at the same time, we are coming together and activating the ability for us individually and collectively to start to tune in to these frequencies that really are the makeup of everything that allows us to have this temporary human experience. So I am so grateful to be able to do this with you guys and to support your work and just to be a part of this. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, Seth, my freaking soul brother. And it's incredible to be in the momentum to create more together on these channels and to know you. And some of the most hardcore stuff that most people would fall into victim consciousness or like self-shame about, you have overcome in the most masterful and beautiful way. And, you know, you give people permission to accept those life experiences and come out the other end completely like showing it. You have nothing over me. The minute I find my truth, the minute I find source energy, and I could go on and on and on, and I'm good at that. You guys know I'm like dyslexic or ADD. But anyway, love you, Seth. And Aage Nost, what are your final thoughts and words that you want to share?
Yeah, oh gosh, I would say that anybody listening here, listen really close, because I'm going to give you the key to where you can actually have some phenomenal experience, and that is get out of the box.
Yes.
There is nothing in the box that will do you any good. It's all the old stories, the old lies. And we got to remember that the head of the CIA under Ronald Reagan, he said in an interview one time that when we discover that all of the things the American public believe is false, we know the disinformation program is working. Now, take that one to the pipe and smoke it. It's outside of the box where we find things that is interesting. That's where the real experiences are. Come and join us, and we've been in the box, and now my box is so far away, I have no clue where it is. So just let's get out there, and we will find those experiences, our own experiences, that will prove to us that yes, this is real, because there is more real outside of the box than it is inside of the box. So come and join us.
Aage, you're king of the one-liners, bro. It's like golden. It seriously is the best.
Anybody with a t-shirt company or bumper sticker, like, capture this.
Yeah, get out of the box.
That's me. Okay.
So yes, Dr. Sharnael, and then Neil, and then I'll just say goodbye. I don't know what I'm afraid if I try and share, I won't shut up, and it's like, just shut up. So Dr. Sharnael.
So I'm glad you mentioned the getting out of the box, because that's what I was talking about. Because you said, even if you have to get out of the box one leg at a time, that's whenever I got the visual of the parasailing of this lady, literally. And it was I have a fear of water too. So like, I didn't have to physically move my leg to get out of that box. But I was a little nervous, because I was like, there's a lot of water and height. So there's all that anyway. But yes, shout out to Pastor Carmen, who's on here, and Craig Walker. I know there's people texting me saying that they're watching live. Please share this. You guys share this, tag people, get it out, let people know about this, because, I love what Neil keeps bringing up, and well, everyone has said about the isolation. I have felt it too at times, and then I have to remember, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. This is dumb. Stop it. But I choose not to submit to that programming. I know they're using Voice of God tech and all this stuff to just like hammer in whatever they choose for us to suck in and believe. And the word believed is to be alive in something, to image the imagination, like she talks about over and over. I love that word, to image a nation. And we are imaging our nations, which is one nation in God, indivisible, which means united as one. And when that is the only God program, as one, there are no other programs. Love as one, the end, that's it. And so when we come together on this November 1st, you guys, I hope you will share, put this out, tell all your friends. We can all do this together as a collective. Like scripturally, it only took like 300 people to change the world. So, we can do this with our 300 people or whatever, why don't we just take an act of faith and believe, be alive in? We are the ones who are shifting this. And a big part of it is our new programming is to deprogram and reprogram. And if we can get away from whatever they're trying to zap us in with, fear and all the other things, and we can get classes and workshops like this conference going on, then that's the beginning of us going like, wow, we're more powerful than what we are, and actually remembering all the cells and all the things that we are. And I love Elena so much. We've had many, many meetings and gatherings online, but one time she said this one-liner to me, and I still like, it comes back over, and that is fear is consent. And so when we stay in our power, which is strength, and love is the opposite of fear, except for there's no competition. There's no fear in love competition. Love is love. Self-love starts right here, and love is. So when we remember, love is the over vibration that Seth talked about. That is the thing that takes over, wipes out everything. And when we stay, not go back and forth and in and out, but actually stay into that full-blown radiating field instead of the sponge that sucks in everything, but radiating out, even in our physical presence, as we walk around, as we speak, as we do whatever, we can do this. We are the ones, we are born for this. Champions are not made are born in the ring. They are made in the ring. And you don't know how strong you are until you have the choices before you to make. And then you go, wow, I am strong. Look at what I just did. And so, yes, we may have to physically move our leg to get out of the box, but, you know, come to this meeting, get yourself equipped, invest in yourself and your family and your communities for this time while we have the internet. Take this chance to do this and shift your life. This is going to be amazing. I just can't even, I'm so happy that I'm even get to do this with y'all. We all get to do this together, and all of you watching, you get to do it with us. And we need you. We need every piece of you to be a part of it, because we're going to learn from you guys. So come join us and let's have fun. Let's play.
Oh,
And Dr. Sharma, one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dr. Sharma, you mentioned the word love. We haven't talked about that enough this time, but Albert Einstein said about a year before he died, he said in an interview that I have researched the universe more than most, and I have found that the whole universe is created from the vibration of love.
500.
Well, love is the substance of alchemy, and it's connected to the ether and the greater universal unconditional love force. That's the 0 point unified field that I feel that all our astrological maps bring us back into. We're not here to just loop on patternings. We're here to learn from them and grow from them and get back to center, to the point where all purification and all healing and all transformation is available. And then our creative imagination can infuse this process with all the things we can build and dream together. And it's karmic free when it's based in integrity. And I don't know about the word karma, but it's like karma is like, to me, a correction. Like, okay, this isn't quite in balance. And so a certain event needs to take place to bring it into balance, to not be victimized by it, and to not be the controller for it in order to try and enslave others because you can't handle the greater growth. It's just crazy, the dynamics of a free will universe.
It is.
Very
the
like
opportunities.
It's sort of impressive, but it's very disturbing. But any final words, anybody, before we go?
Yeah, so I think it's on me now. Okay,
Yes.
Dr. Sharnael, you want to say something?
Yeah, Neil, before you go there, people always ask, probably you, I know they ask me, what can I do about it? What can we do? And I'm just going to encourage everybody, even if you are not going to the conference, please share this, because you don't know who you know that will listen and needs this and will come because you share.
Yes.
So that's all I'm going to say is share.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Seth, Elena, Dr. Sharnael, Laura, Aage. You know, I've had a challenging week. It's been really hardcore, actually, like probably the most challenging in like 3 to 4 years, like some huge shifts are happening in my life right now. And you have just fueled my soul. Like I'm like smiling from inside my heart, and I haven't felt that in a few weeks, just because things have been so dense for me. So I just want to thank you for I felt like I just read a self-help book in like an hour and a half, you know. I didn't even need to go and read it. Like, how amazing is that?
I feel so much better too. It's like I'm not doing as well as I would hope. I'm pretty much bedridden, and I don't like changing my clothes feels like I'm like, oh my God, I did a simple human task and I feel like a warrior. It's like, you know, putting out interviews and this and that, like I'm used to, but like functioning in the human realm, I can't quite handle. I don't know if that's the same picture for you, Neil, but thank you for sharing that. It's like holding space for you. And I go back and forth between all these different things. And, you know, I do feel, I have to just say, I know we got to all go. I feel a certain level of self-mastery is self-honesty. When we're really hitting a wall, can we cry? Can we be honest with ourselves? I mean, do we expect to just sit there and like levitate and just have this sort of spiritual mastery? Or are we going to be able to process through the things that like are really difficult and challenging? And I know when I remove the judgment from myself and I just accept it, it's a lot easier. But like, sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get out of bed for 4 days. And maybe next week I'll climb a mountain. But I think one of the most important things we do is just honor where we are in our own process and give it the ultimate love. And you are so appreciated, and you've been at this for so long, tirelessly. So I'm glad that you like feel better. And I realized that y'all have met each other for the first time. That's nuts. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm excited. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the event page just one more time with everyone. And then I want to share a couple of things, and I'll do my poem. Is that cool? All right, let's do it. So again, everybody, if you've just joined us or you didn't see, we're actually all going to be at this conference, 2-day online conference, Activating Conscious Evolution. It's in the description of all the places that we're broadcasting to right now. So you can go ahead and take a look there. Everybody gets unlimited replay access like they do for all of our events. And if you don't see the link, just go to portaltoascension.org, click online events, and you'll be like the second event over there. It's going to be amazing. All of us are here. We're going to go live 2 more times, I believe. 2 more times. We're going to do different panels and invite more speakers and just continue giving you content, awareness, and about the event, but also just sharing from our hearts, our experiences, and how we feel in this moment. So tune into that. It's going to be amazing. Hope to see some of you guys there. Now, what I want to share is like we've had a theme here of unity and oneness, right? That's the theme for everything we do, right? But we've been bringing up that concept a few times, and I want to share that something that I really like have kind of started like exploring early when I first started waking up in 2001 is the concept that everything is paradoxical, right? Like, for example, the only way you can create an ascended future reality is by living in the present moment. So the more you want an external reality to happen, the less it's going to happen. But the more you find the beauty in this moment, the more likely we're eventually going to be in this world where literally unicorns probably will be flying, you know? So like, and then also the universe is infinite, right? It infinitely expands, but at the same time, our brains can only fathom the finite. Outside one thing, there must be another. Outside that, there must be another. It must end eventually. So what I found really interesting in 2001 when I came across a 17-hour Nassim Haramein video, and I watched the whole thing in like 2 days, was that he was basically trying to explore the mathematics of how we're all one. And through that mathematical like research, he discovered basically that we're all interconnected. Part of that is non-locality, you know, information in one area, the data can be, pulled from another area in quantum reality, but also even though we can't completely multiply because our brains can't imagine the infinite, but one thing that we can imagine is that we can completely divide into infinity. So if you have a cell, the cell will never ever like completely go, because you'll divide that cell into half. There'll always be a particle of that cell left. So we can fathom the division within, but we aren't completely able to fathom the infinity without. And that to me is the illusion, so to speak, that the external reality is actually a reflection of the internal world, the infinite division within. So what we see outside of us is truly the division and the infinity within us, you know, and Nassim Haramein and other people will call it, we're made out of infinite singularities. So that's kind of like, to me, it's been proven now scientifically, spiritually, that we're all interconnected and we're one. But now it's like, what are we going to do with that information? How are we going to implement it into this world right now? So that is the theme of why we all are here, even the people that don't even know it. You know, we're moving back to this oneness. All right. So I'm going to share a poem now, everybody. This poem here is called Mother Earth. I just wrote it a few months ago, and it's going to be on my hip hop album that's going to be coming out in January. And it's basically just an homage to the divine feminine energy and the maternal cosmic nature of creation. Mother Earth. This one here, it goes out to one of the manifestations of Source. The north sky reflects light on my porch. The entire planet is my church. Even when she is scorched, Mother Nature will nourish and replenish the soil so that mankind can reap the spoils, abundance, creation, and destruction. The Kali Ma personification manifesting on this plane in the form of all life. Married to Father Sky, our minds remain fertile, earth on the back of a turtle, the Nephilim reversal, and generations of persecution. Nemesis brings retribution, and Ishtar's contribution are the flowers that bloom. The life we once knew, she is the one who provides unconditional love to you. As we move over her surface, I dedicate these verses. She's always of surface. Time to give back. Time to bring it back. The wounded feminine is where we've been at, but also the wounded man. The divine aspect ran away from our place a millennia ago. Patriarchy and damaged egos took over this world. Now is the moment to bring back the days of old. The divine feminine has been on hold, but never truly left. The energy transcends gender as we embark on this quest to remember our nest. Before we were born, she blessed you and me. You and me. But who are we? An illustration of beauty and art, displayed in the cosmos for all those who pass us to see and admire. She's the fire, the water, the wind, and the birds. All other creatures have heard her voice. Her voice sings lands into existence, providing assistance and gravitational resistance so we can continue to thrive. When we die before our souls return to the sky, we join her and become her again, the truest of friends, with us until the end and rebirth. She is Mother Earth. She is Mother Earth.
Make me cry.
Magnificent.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you all.
Oh, you guys, you're
No
all so
words.
beautiful. Thank you.
My kitty's even crying.
It feels the frequency. All right, everybody. I think we're pretty much wrapping up here. Laura, are you coming back on?
We're literally rapping.
Oh,
That was incredible. Thank you, Neil. That
Thank you.
seriously, wow. Always.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Oh my
Thank
god.
I
you.
appreciate you, and I really look forward to this November 1st and 2nd, everybody. We'll put all the links in the description. And
Let's do it.
it's about being empowered and just knowing that if there's any financial part of it, none of us like that piece, but it's always being reinvested into things that will make this world a better place until we can be free of this like money system. You know, very much what like folks like Michael Tellinger talks about.
Mhm.
But I can't believe your downloads, Neil. Like every time it's always like, wow.
My whole goal of Portal to Ascension is to get people helping me do it so I can just do full-time music, poetry.
I
That's
didn't
where
even
I wanna
know
go.
you did music.
That's so awesome. Incredible. And so grateful. No
All right,
need-
everybody. I think we're gonna
Anybody else?
close
Everybody.
it out. And
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody has anything left to share. Well, we have a lot to share, but join us and you'll hear some presentations and some panels. And thanks
Yep.
everybody for tuning in tonight. Love you guys.
thank you, everybody.
Yep. All right, good
Let's
night.
do it.
guys. Thank you.